Today I'm here to share the Yorkshire tea about BookTube, and I'm going to be doing the Honest BookTubers tag, which was created by Harriet Rosie. I wasn't actually tagged by anyone, but I saw it on Life is a Page Turner's channel, and I really enjoyed her answer. She's really honest, really on point with everything that she's saying. And it just kind of inspired me to make my own version of the tag. In terms of people I want to tag, I basically tag anyone who wants to participate, because I think this is a really interesting tag because it requires you to be completely honest, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important things about BookTube. If you're not honest, what are you doing? The first question of the tag is, have you ever lied about reading a book? And the answer is no. Why would I lie about reading a book? I've either read a book or I haven't read a book. There's no in between. Sometimes I skim parts of a book if I'm not enjoying it too much, and then if I mention the book in a video, I will probably mention that I haven't read it completely, perfectly. I haven't read every single line meticulously, but I would never do an individual book review video on a book that I haven't read properly. Book review videos are actually some of my favourite videos to make because they make me think about books on a much deeper level. They make me analyse them and think critically about them. And imagine trying to do a book review if you've not even read the book. It would just be ridiculous, and it would be so obvious that you haven't read it. Question number 2 is, have you ever avoided a book because of controversy around the content or the author? I kind of have done this with The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Díaz. A few years ago, before I read this book, there was a little bit of controversy around the author and various allegations about the way he had been treating women at different universities and different conferences that he'd been to. It just kind of made me feel a little bit uncomfortable about reading the book initially. When I did actually get around to the book, I didn't actually enjoy it, to be honest. The main character is a little bit sexist at times, and I didn't know if that was the voice of Junot Díaz, which I really hope it wasn't, or if it was the voice of the character and Junot Díaz was trying to criticize this idea of toxic Latin American masculinity. I had no idea who it really was coming through, and it was just a kind of uncomfortable read. I don't think it's necessarily meant to be a comfortable read, but I just think because of the controversy around it, that was always in the back of my mind, and I believe the allegations were false. I'm not out here trying to criticise Junot Díaz. I actually think he's a really talented writer in terms of what he sets out to do, but this particular book didn't really appeal to me that much. Question number 3 is, have you ever been sent a book for free and not disclosed it? And the answer is no, because I don't see why I would want to do this. It seems really stupid. If a book's been sent to you for free, at least acknowledge that you've received the book and that you haven't bought it yourself. I would never do a book haul, for example, and claim that I've bought every single book if some of them were sent to me for free. I like to give a shout out to new authors if they've sent me books. I like to give a shout out to publishing houses. I just like to show my appreciation for the books that I've been sent. I think it was in around 2014, 2015 when I was receiving a lot of books on a monthly basis from publishers, and I didn't necessarily make individual videos talking about all of the books, but if I did mention a book in a video and it was sent to me for free, I would always acknowledge it. When I recently did my bookshelf tour, some of the books that I showed were from publishers. I got sent them for free, and I always admit that. I don't see why I would want to lie about receiving a book for free. It's obviously a benefit of BookTube, and it's something that I'm always really thankful for. At the moment, I'm not really into receiving books for free just because I have so many books of my own that I want to get around to. But if I did get back into reviewing advanced reader copies, I would always let people know. Question number 4 is, have you ever bought a book with no intention of reading it? And the answer is yes, I kind of have. So basically, the first time I bought The Hunger Games by Suzanne, I had this edition, and this is the one that I read. But I really wanted to collect other Hunger Games editions, and I bought this version as well, which I've never actually opened to read. So I did technically buy this with the intention of not reading it, but it was more to kind of collect it because it was a different edition and a different cover. And to be honest, I would never buy a book with the intention of never reading it. Sometimes I won't read a book immediately, but I will always want to read it, otherwise I wouldn't spend my money on it. Even a few years ago when I was doing massive book hauls with like 10 or 12 books, I would still plan on reading each book that I mention. I just didn't get around to some of them straight away. The next question, number 5, is, have you ever got caught up in BookTube drama? And the answer is yes, I have. And if you followed my channel for a while, you probably will have some kind of idea if you've got a good memory. It was in November 2014 that there was quite a lot of BookTube drama, and it kind of spread throughout the entire community for quite a long time. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't really think it's appropriate, but there was this one booktuber who was being incredibly rude and, in my opinion, completely out of order with some of the things that he was saying about other booktubers and authors as well. Obviously, a lot of the booktube community are really into reading young adult fiction, which I think is great, and I definitely used to read so much YA and I loved it. I thought it was so entertaining. I loved the plot, I loved the character-driven nature of the stories. This booktuber was criticising authors, saying that they were stupid for writing young adult fiction. They were criticising readers of young adult fiction, saying that they didn't have any brain cells, and all this kind of rubbish that just really got on my nerves. I felt a bit uncomfortable about the videos that were being put out by this booktuber, so I decided to make a kind of response video trying to inject positivity into the booktube community, saying that we should appreciate people regardless of their reading tastes, just listen to their opinions and appreciate their booktube channels. I just tried to kind of speak out against the behaviour that had been going on because for me it was just quite rude. And then all of their subscribers kind of came over to my channel and left a lot of mean comments on my channel. They were disliking all my videos and just being completely horrible. And then question number 6 is, have you ever had a hate comment and did you respond? So obviously, like I said about the booktube drama, I had a lot of people coming over to my channel from the other booktubers' channel, basically criticising my videos. For some reason they really didn't like the username Reading with Jack, which I had at the time, and they said it sounded like a kids' TV show, which I just thought was a bit rude and a bit unnecessary. Like, you don't need to go on here to criticise other people's usernames. That's an individual choice. Obviously, I've changed my username since to Terms and Travel, but even then, like, Reading with Jack was a massive part of my booktube history, and I wasn't ashamed of having that as a username. I never really want to respond to these kind of people because I feel like it fuels more comments in the future. If they can see that you're being aggravated by what they're saying, they will continue making comments because some people are just rude. Just try not to respond to these kind of comments. Like, leave the trolls alone and focus on the good comments. Question number 7, have you ever made a video just because you knew it would get views? And I always say that I never make videos for the sake of getting views, and for me the most important thing is the interaction and the engagement. So I always like to make videos that get comments because I like discussing things with people, I like making friends and interacting with all different kinds of booktubers, so it doesn't really matter if a video gets 1,000 views or 100 views. For me, the comments are always the most important thing, regardless of the views. Obviously, there are certain kinds of videos like book hauls and bookshelf tours that naturally get a lot more views than other kind of videos, so I know that my subscribers want to see those videos and I definitely try and make them, but I would never specifically go out of my way to make a video just for the views. I never really try to create videos that are going to go viral. I'm not really that kind of person. I think some booktubers that have a lot of subscribers are very animated and they jump around a lot on the screen and they have amazing editing skills, and I don't necessarily think I'm one of those people, but that's completely fine. I'm happy with my channel and I'm not really going out of my way to get loads of views. Obviously it's nice to get the acknowledgement, but views and numbers are not the only thing that matter. Question number 8 is, if you could go back to the beginning of your channel, would you do anything differently? I suppose I would stay out of booktube drama. That's not something I want to be involved in. I don't think it's productive and I just don't think it creates a good atmosphere surrounding my channel. But even then, I've definitely learned from mistakes that I've made on my channel, and I've grown over the years with the constructive criticism that you lot have given me as subscribers. So in terms of doing things differently, I'm not sure if I would want to do things differently. I think you learn over time, you gradually improve. Recently I was watching some of my old videos back just out of interest, and they were not great. Like, some of them were filmed with a really terrible webcam, some of them were terrible in terms of editing, and I used to be really tense on the camera as well. I used to look like someone had put a gun to my head and made me speak. It was really not great. I feel now I'm a bit more relaxed in front of the camera and I've become a bit more natural with it, so I feel like I've learned over time, and I don't think I would be able to do anything differently in the early years, even if I tried, because part of BookTube and part of improving as a YouTuber is making videos. The more videos you make, the better you become, so you can't be perfect at the start, and I feel like it would be stupid to expect that. Question number 9, are there any channels you wish you could be more like? And this is probably a little bit of a cop-out answer, but I would say no, because I want to focus on myself as an individual booktuber. I definitely take inspiration from other people's videos in terms of discussions that I want to make, in terms of tag videos I want to do, in terms of books I want to buy as well. But in terms of creating content, I am myself, I am an individual booktuber, and I'm happy with what I'm doing, to be honest. And I don't really want to copy other people because I feel like it would make my videos not as authentic and not as genuine as they hopefully are. And then question number 10 is, what's something that you love about your channel? So I think one of the things that I really like about my channel is the fact that it's been going for around 8 years, which is quite a long time as a booktuber. I'm not like an OG booktuber or anything, but I feel like I have made videos for quite a long time, and over time my video quality has improved a lot. I've definitely grown as a person over the years, and I feel like my channel has grown with me. My reading tastes have developed over the years. I've gained subscribers, I've lost subscribers, and honestly I just like the fact that I've grown with my channel. I've kind of grown up with YouTube in a really strange way. I also like the fact that sometimes I mention books that other booktubers haven't really heard of before, or books that don't get as much attention in the booktube community. I did a languages degree at university, and as part of that I got to study a lot of foreign literature, and recently I did make a video talking about my favourite books that I studied at university. I'll link that down below in the description. And I feel like a lot of the books I mentioned in that video were not really popular books. They were not like books that were trending in the booktube community, but I quite like that I was able to introduce people to different kinds of books that perhaps other people haven't really mentioned before. I'd love to know in the comments what you love about my channel and what you want me to keep doing, and maybe things that you don't like about my channel. Is there anything you want me to improve or change? But all in all, I feel like that is everything for the honest booktuber tag. I really love this actually, because I think I am quite an honest person, particularly when I do book reviews. I'm always honest and very transparent with my thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed filming it, and until my next video, which is hopefully going to be a book review on The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, I will see you later.